the medicine, the ceremonial people in a camp. His he has a big job, that ceremonial leader. When a newborn baby is come, they take him to that ceremonial leader, and they ask this ceremonial leader to give this young child a way of living. And so that means name, language, song, and colors. So this young person grows up knowing those things. But that isn't the only thing. Everybody that's born has a heart, a mind, a body, and a spirit. Everybody. But on top of that, the the ceremonial leader, he gives him a name to live by. It's holy. It comes from up there, that name. That ceremonial leader doesn't just hand out names just like that. He has to have a ceremony so the spirit can come down and give this newborn a name. And so, and that name has a meaning. It's just like when I was going to be leaving my community as a man, my mother said, "Wait, before you go, I want to get you a man name." And she got a hold of this old man. His name is Leo Menard. He come and do a ceremony for me. And when he finished the ceremony, he told me, "Your name is Wanbdi Wakita." And the reason why the spirits gave you that name, he said, is because you look over the people, make sure that everything is okay, and if it isn't, you go and help them. So that's a big deal. So that was the ceremonial leader does that to to the to the newborn when he gets asked, when parents take him over and gets when they ask him to give him a name, that's what happened. So heart, mind, body, and spirit, and name, language, song, and colors. And that's where those colors come in. When your person makes a dance outfit, they make sure they put their colors in, so they'll know who it is that's there, what family he comes from. Or if you make a teepee, you know exactly who lives just by the drawings around the teepee. You know who lives there, because every time you get up to speak, you tell who your family is and who you are and what kind of work that Creator gave you to be part of the community, the camp. And so that's how those things started. So when somebody makes a has a newborn, they one of the things they do is they make uh, that man gives them those four things, and pretty soon the grandma hears that. Okay, I'll make that blanket and put the colors in, give it to that newborn. That's how things start. It's like that with almost all things that people do. People, they have different colored ribbons or different colors that they wear, you know. So it's all of those kinds of things. Yeah, there are many ways to show the it started off as sacred things long time ago. For instance, the clouds, there's a picture of a buffalo. Over here is a picture of a horse. Or the bear, the big bear that must be 12 feet long, because that's how big my purification lodge is. And the bear is right even with that's the biggest bear I ever did see, and somebody took a picture of that. So that it's good to show the natural. Some people call it miracles, but they're not miracles. They're just, that's just the way it's going to be. everything is natural. And so when people start to show their artistic side and they wanted to share it, those are good ways. They do that on teepees long ago. Well, some of them still do, but the meaning of their whatever is drawn on the side of the teepee, the meaning is what's not really understood these days. Is just somebody's really good at drawing, and it's good to show those kind of people. We're visual people, so it'll be good to see. It does something to us inside here. It makes us feel good, makes us feel proud that hey, somebody done a really good job, that I really like that painting. So long time ago, there was no cameras. We just had to keep those things up here, remember it really good. So, but things are changing now, and there's lots of young people who has good way to put those things on paper or on the wall, or you know it's good that they would expand. Creator give them that kind of a gift, and it's good that they would put it into action. It's pretty important. It's holy. It's sacred. Knowing an object and what it means, we don't really teach words like that. There's a learning part to it. I'll give you an example. The word respect was written on the wall with several other words, like maybe 20 words, and they're all in English, of course. And so this one friend, non-indigenous person, friend of mine, he says, do you know about that word respect? Sure, I said, I know about respect. I kind of brushed him off. But he did get me thinking, though. And I had to think about that. It kind of bugged me a little bit. So I took that English word home to that old man, Ota. He's a pretty good teacher. I said, Oka, this word, respect, he knows a bit of English. What does it really mean in Dakota? He told me what it means in Dakota. But, he said, now that you have an idea what it means in Dakota, to truly understand this word, he said, go and put it into action so that you would know. And that's the way language is taught. You don't just translate the word from English to Dakota or to Cree. There's a story, there's songs behind it, there's representatives, either a man or an animal or a winged or a medicine that's attached to that word. It's not by itself, and we never teach language like that. So you can't describe it with just one word. And part of the reason, of course, is that there are new words that the old people had to make up as time went along. And those new words are things like watch, for instance, or a chair, or TV, or, they're all new words. The phone, for instance. So along the way, we're starting to move towards these new words, and had to learn what. But the old words, they have meaning, and there's a reason why. And where did it come from? The old people say, that's a God-given language. Creator gave us that language, and we need to keep it. What they mean is, that language is sacred. Make sure you use that. And one of the things that I told you about the heart, mind, body, and spirit, know who you are. Make sure you have two brains. You got to form an attitude of some kind. Creator gave you a skill. To everybody who was born, find that skill at the right time, whether you're 8 years old or 25 years old, and show it. You're not showing it to the people. You're showing it because it came from up there, from Creator, and that you're showing it because you want to tell Creator, thank you for this skill that you gave me. I want to share it with the, but first I want to do it the right way. I want to learn if this is the right the right way to show my skill, because I want to start showing it, sharing it with the other people. And the last one, of course, is making sure that you have a belief system. Those are the other four things that are involved in there. And they all belong to the inside of each person. And the last part of that is humor is a good thing. That means something is coming from your heart. Information, being observant, you see something over there, you heard something, and you got to do something with that. You want to take this one word that really has good meaning to you. You decipher that word, and then you're going to put it into action. When you put it into action, people are watching that. And that's what's called wisdom. When you turn this word, put it inside of you, and put it into action, that's wisdom. That's what makes it. And the other thing is, we talked about this enough times already, eating natural food and making prayer. Those are the last four things that people would need just to live on Mother Earth. Those are pretty important things. And I know for sure that if you shut off your feelings and you ignore your spirit, things are not going to work out for you. I know that for sure. I went through that. And so I know how important my heart is. I know how important my two brains are. My grandfather said that to me. You have two brains. And the reason why you have two brains is because you need to learn from what is right and you need to learn from what is wrong. Of course, my poor little thinking was, Grandpa, you never went to school. How do you know I have two brains? Years later, as I was looking through a science book, there was a picture of a man with his head open, and there's two brains like this, one on each side. And I'm thinking, Grandpa is right. How did he know? I was just a young boy when he told me that. Now I believe in something that he was given that information from up there. That's why he said that to me. I wonder what that means. Does that mean he really cares and he has love for me to make sure that I know some things? Yes. What about when he tells me, get up early every morning? What about that? What is he saying? Why should I do that, Grandpa? I'm just a young kid. The sun rising has a lot to do with that. There's two songs. Before the sun comes up, there's a song. And just as the song comes up, there's another song to that. I have something to tell you. Day, sun. Day, sun. I have something to tell you. And we're forgetting all about those kinds of things. Hardly anybody knows those kinds of things now. In fact, we're taking that sun for granted now. We don't pay any attention to that. And so those are the kinds of things that we would need to learn about in order to live in a full way, a holistic way. That's really important. It's really important. Yeah. You know, not very many people are full 100% indigenous anymore. We're all going towards the Washichu way. Pretty sad. Pretty sad. I would never be Washichu because I'm Dakota. And that's pretty important to try and learn as much as I can. Even going so far as to read books about different people and to just to confirm things. Am I going the right way? Am I doing the right thing? You know, my grandpa was never sick in his life. Every day he would get up at about 5 o'clock and he'd be the last one to go to sleep about 10 o'clock. Every day right after lunch he'll sleep for about 10, 15 minutes. He'd get up, away he'll go again. He always wore moccasins. Never once he wore a pair of shoes, and that was because my dad came home from the Second World War, and him and my grandpa and my dad took a picture together, and my grandpa wanted to wear shoes because my dad was wearing army shoes too, and that's the only time I ever knew my grandpa wearing shoes. But he always wore moccasins, and he always smoked a pipe, always. So that's a good teaching for people who are observant, or people who want to not get sick. Eat a muskrat every spring when they first come out. He told me, okay, today there's hardly any muskrats around. You have to go far to get muskrats. So I eat. I have medicine in my pocket that the muskrat eats. And so it's not that I'm going to turn into a muskrat. It's like I want to keep well. That's what I want to do. So thank you, Tunshka, for coming to our house and sharing a few words with you. Thank you for doing that. You're teaching that to young people, and that's good.